Hey, Willie, come here. Listen to this.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to 3NN Podcast.
Now with more
I'm Nick Tesla,
Brian McFadden.
And
exactly.
Well, no, we'd like to welcome everybody to the official podcast of Open Minds Everywhere. It's a beauty to have you with us.
Yes, we're filming on a Sunday, or recording on a Sunday. Tomorrow's the 4th of July.
It is. I honestly, I want to be working. I don't want the day off. Screw this sit around and be patriotic.
Nick's like, give me my holiday pay.
I don't want holiday. I don't get holiday pay, so I'd rather be at work getting pay. You know what I'm saying? And especially I'm in a kind of a dire financial situation
your
right
situation,
now. So
makes sense.
any time I can work, I really should be working, not sitting on my rear end watching fucking sparkles in the sky. You know what I'm saying? Pardon my language, but it's just a waste to me. I'm not making money watching fireworks, okay? There's no... And I was thinking, okay, let me go around with a lawnmower tomorrow and say, hey, but everybody's out. Something's not right. Cortana, do not interrupt me while I'm recording. Basically... What is me? I was thinking about going around with a lawnmower, knocking on people's doors. Hey, can I mow your lawn for $20 today? But people are going to be like, it's a holiday? What is wrong with you?
People are going to be barbecuing in their yards.
People are going to be barbecuing in their yards, and they're going to say, no, unfortunately, we're barbecuing in our yards, or no, unfortunately, I have to go to a barbecue today, and I can't sit here and wait for you to mow my lawn, you know? So it's like I can't even really make money. I guess I could.
You know what you could do?
Probably
Here's an idea for you. If you really want to mess with people, go to Lowe's, get a couple bottles of Roundup, and go door to door. 4th of July, wait till about noontime, 1 o'clock, when you know everyone's barbecuing, swimming, all that shit. Hi, I'm Nick. How are you today? Happy holidays. For $20, I'll do bed weed control for you.
Bed weed control?
Yeah, people's flower beds where the weeds are growing, you just spray it with Roundup. While they're out there barbecuing and swimming in their pools.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Wouldn't that be interesting? Yeah.
I spilled some. Sorry.
Sorry, half your lawn's going to be burnt. My bad.
Half your lawn's going to be burnt and your dogs might die. You know?
Damn. Shouldn't laugh at that.
No, I definitely shouldn't. So I don't know. We got a wonderful show here today.
Yeah.
It's going to be... I wanted to give a shout-out to... My boy Nick down there at WSFS in University Plaza in Newark, Delaware. You know, he was checking out the show, and hopefully he liked it. He seemed to be a fan. Didn't even really know me, but he seemed to be a fan. So not like he seemed to be a fan like he had stumbled across the show or something. No, he was just an interesting cat who found me to be just as interesting. I don't know. He asked me what my favorite dinosaur was. I said T-Rex, and he wanted to high five in the middle of the bank. This is the teller on the other side of the thing. High five, dude. T-Rex. I'm like,
dude, you got to meet Eric.
This is crazy.
You got to meet Eric M from Underground.
Is Eric T-Rex too?
Say what now?
What's your
T-Rex?
Do you represent with a T-Rex? If you represented with any kind of dinosaur, what dinosaur would you represent with? And
I don't friggin' know.
And the Jurassic World dinosaur that's bigger and better than the T-Rex. That's not a. That's
I don't know. I want to think of
real.
Myself as some weird genetically enhanced velociraptor from the future with a bunch of.
Oh yeah. He said velociraptor. That's the generic. That's like the basic bitch answer. You know what a basic bitch is?
Fuck you.
Please tell me you know what a basic bitch
F you. Pardon my French. F you.
So that's what I'm saying. You got to be a T-Rex, right? Anyway.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're working on swearing less on this program.
We're working on it.
It's a work in progress.
It's definitely a work in progress, that's for sure. It's like the little loading bar that never seems to move.
For the little ones listening and those with sensitive ears, I apologize for the F-bomb I recently dropped.
Yeah, but do you ever think...
I didn't mean to say fuck. It was an accident.
Do you think
Oops.
think maybe... little young ones, and I'm talking about like 9-10 years old. You think that maybe they are possibly listening to the Young Turks, possibly listening to Joe Rogan? People
I think
who curse
9 and 10-year-olds are probably listening to whatever's on the radio.
I've seen kids. I've told little kids. I know it sounds weird, but I've told little kids about our podcast. Okay, and told them to check it out. Don't ask me why. I'm weird. Okay, but I've told little kids to check out our podcast, and have literally been confronted by their parents, and the parents say, "There's cursing in this. Is there cursing in this? I don't want my children watching that." And the kids are really like 8, 9, 10 years old, so it's like they
we
know what
did a show from a place called Weed Man's Joint in Trenton.
Okay,
kids are watching this.
But
parents could be pissed about that. Let's see. What else wonderful stuff did we do that telling little kids go watch this? Nick, that was not
no, but it was smart, because if we're going to change the world, we start with the youth. We start with the children.
Okay, Adolf.
The truth. No, it's not that I'm...
Ladies and gentlemen, Tesla Youth coming soon to a city near you.
I saw a meme or something, or a picture on, I think, Instagram yesterday that said... basically, teach your kids the truth now, no matter how hard or difficult it may feel to have to tell them some of these serious truths that you feel like they're too young to be exposed to. But if you teach it to them now, they won't have to spend years of their life later on researching and figuring it all out and finding it all out themselves.
True.
If you teach it to them now, if you teach it to them when they're young, yes, it's hard stuff for a child to really understand that the world is in such a bad place, but at least your child grows up knowing where the world's at and at least has the ability to think about solutions instead of just thinking about how it's messed up and oh my God, I can't believe this is really happening. How come nobody ever taught me this before? They already know all this. Their parents taught them this, and they're like, all right, well, I know this is what's going on. I can kind of see through the sham of what's really going on, and how can we try and change some of this? They can actually think about solutions instead of just being caught up in that it's actually going on and discovering it. You know, discovery is a thing for your youth. You know what I'm saying? We should be kind of teaching this to our kids, but it's truly difficult. There needs to be a Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood type show for kids that explains objective conspiracy theory, okay? Not crazy conspiracy theory. I don't want to get into I don't want to get into what constitutes crazy conspiracy theory and what's objective conspiracy theory and this and that. But let's basically just say reptilian shapeshifters. You don't want to be teaching the kids about reptilian shapeshifters.
Shout out to David
okay?
Icke, I guess.
Okay, if you want to slightly touch on reptilian shapeshifters when you start talking about simulation theory and interdimensionality and what do you call it? Theories of the universe and the bubble theories, how there's the multiverse theory. You know what I'm saying? If you want to teach your kid a little bit about that and say that anything is possible, even reptilian shapeshifters, you know what I'm saying? If you want to teach your kids that kind of stuff, I guess that's okay. But you don't want to get into deep conspiracies that aren't really verifiable and don't really have any true verifiable evidence or a true paper trail to actually prove it. You don't want to get into any of that for your kids, because then you may lead your kids into down a rabbit hole of insanity, thinking something's true but having no evidence.
Round Earth versus hollow Earth versus flat.
Then you're just raising a Westboro Baptist kid. That's what you're doing. You're raising a Westboro Baptist kid when you teach them crazy conspiracies.
I forgot to tell you before the show. I forgot to tell you before the show. I saw one the other day. This one says the Earth is a cube shape.
No, that's nonsense, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
It's honestly, I think it's all nonsense. There's some validity to it. I've been looking into a lot of flat Earth stuff, and it's a lot more convoluted of a subject than a lot of people like to just dismiss it as.
There's so many different theories.
Well, Neil deGrasse Tyson likes to say we solved this thousands of years ago. Okay, we solved this over 1,000 or 2,000 years ago. We solved the idea that the world was flat. We got over that. You know what I'm saying? We've come to a consensus that the Earth is a globe. Why are we going back and re-evaluating something like that? And he kind of has a very valid point, I think. Mm-hmm. But it's always good to question stuff that is entrenched in our knowledge as being true, yet is not easily verifiable for every single person on the planet. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So, I don't know. Like, that's why there's so many conspiracies of why we can't go to space, and space may not even be real, and even flat Earth of not having a real space. You hit the top of the dome, and you can't go past the dome, right?
Oh, go on YouTube.
Because everybody can't jump up to space. Not everybody can jump in their little space, their little Jetsons, and go up to space,
laugh?
You know?
You want a real laugh? Go on YouTube and look at the video of, it's quote-unquote something along the lines of planes or Air Force planes crash into dome.
Yeah, I saw that.
I forget what country. It wasn't the United States.
I saw the video. I refused to watch the video, but I did see the title of the video, like fighter jets crash into dome caught on film or some shit like that. I don't know what it was called.
Something like that.
But honestly, I think it was clips of the show beneath the dome.
Probably.
Or underneath the dome, whatever that show is on CBS. I really believe it was clips of that, like edited or something. Or what a lot of people don't realize is the rendering ability of a 12 gigabyte laptop, a 12 gigabyte RAM laptop today, has the ability to render something with filters, certain filters and blurs and things like that, to render something that is indistinguishable from real life to the human eye without being examined with some sort of a software. To the human eye, it can be viewed, and you're like, that's real. You're not going to tell me that's not real. Like this is a genuine film. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are able to create that CGI. If I had a 12 gigabyte laptop with maybe fooling around and really getting good at it after 90 days or so, I could probably make something that would fool almost every single person that looked at it. You know, without being... And the thing is, you can analyze it with software, but you can also run it through other software before you publish the video, that when it's analyzed by software, it looks like one single image that was recorded instead of a manufactured image that was layers put together. You can run it through software where, when it's ran through that software, it's supposed to detect whether or not it was manufactured or created on a computer. It can fool that software into thinking, like, wow, this was just one single video that was caught. You know, there's no proof of editing that you can see here. You know, you can put artifacts in it to make it seem like it's... I don't know if people know what artifacts are, but it's like when you had a VHS recorder, a VHS camcorder, those little lines and blips and stuff that you would see on the tape when you watched it back. Those little lines and blips that you...
I hated that shit.
I love it. Artifacts, VHS artifacts are probably my most favorite. I don't know, something about it I find fascinating, and I find also the recreation attempts of people trying to recreate VHS artifacts and glitches.
Some are good, a lot aren't.
For creating your own digital content today to make it look like it's VHS from the 80s. And really the only way to do it is to film it with a VHS camcorder. And that's what I'm talking about, is you can create one of those things and then film it with a VHS camcorder on a flat screen, no glare screen, where when you film it with that VHS camcorder, it's indistinguishable from being not filmed on a VHS camcorder. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't tell that VHS camcorder was actually just pointed at a screen. It looks like that VHS camcorder was actually recording a whole bunch of different stuff, when in all reality it was just pointed at a screen the whole entire time.
Yeah.
But that's how you can fool that kind of software, where it's like, that's a VHS tape right there. You're not gonna get around that's a VHS, and the software won't be able to see that the actual true original video that it was filming was edited and manipulated in CGI. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So I don't even know where we were going, but all I can think of is UFOs and a lot of our UFO videos that we have out there today.
Ooh.
You know? Like, there's some really good UFO videos out there nowadays where you can see a lot of detail, and it almost makes your heart drop, because you're like, oh my God, like, this is really going on here. But then if you really think about it, it's like... Is it? Some of the CGI out here is so good. You know, some people suck at CGI, so it's obvious.
Did you see the trailer for the new Independence Day?
I want to see the trailer. I've seen the movie, my friend.
I haven't seen it yet. How is it?
I love it until they start bringing out this little white ball that's like intelligent and sentient, and it's like a white mechanical ball, and they're like, we shed our bodies thousands of millennia ago, and we became technological and digital, and our consciousness took on a digital form, and I am the last of the survivors because the aliens that attacked your planet attacked my planet and destroyed it, and I'm the only one left, and blah, blah, blah. I'm giving away spoiler alert.
Yeah.
So, but it's a great movie. I'll tell you that much. And Data is like Data from Star Trek.
Yeah.
Brent Spiner
Yeah.
is one of the main characters throughout the film. Love it. He wasn't one of the main characters throughout the film in the first movie. He was a main character.
He came in like halfway through the first
He was a main character for a good probably half hour of that movie. Good half hour, maybe even 40 minutes of that
he was
movie.
the main character at Area 51.
Yeah. But in this movie, once he wakes up, after 10, 15 minutes, he wakes up, he's main character all the way. And he's hilarious. He's great. He, what do you call it? He says, I got to get you to sick bay. He says that to something. Oh, my God, it's so funny. It's like, Star Trek. Oh, I can't believe he said, I got to get you to sick bay.
Nice.
It's great. And he's just as loopy.
Shout
and just
out
as
to
crazy.
sick bay.
Yo, Brent Spiner is like, if that could be my dad, I would love it. I'll tell you that much. I know I probably say that about a lot of different dudes, and I probably seem like I have father issues or something like that. But Brent Spiner's the man. Data. All right. So, after 15 minutes of deliberation, we have politics to get into, ladies.
On that note, one basic truth can be used as a foundation for a mountain of lies, and if we dig down deep enough in the mountain of lies and bring out that truth, set it on top of the mountain of lies, the entire mountain of lies will crumble under the weight of that one truth. And there's nothing more devastating to a structure of lies than the revelation of the truth upon which the structure of lies was built. Because the shockwaves of the revelation of the truth reverberate and continue to reverberate throughout the earth for generations to follow, awakening even those people who had no desire to be awakened to the truth.
Funny.
That was Delamar Duveris.
Delamar Duveray, I believe.
Duveray?
I don't know. Duveray.
Duverus.
Duveroy. I don't know.
Duveru?
I don't know. Here, let me look at it. I'm usually pretty good at pronouncing stuff when I can just see. All right. Delamere Duverus. Or Duveru. Yeah, I think it is Duveru. Duverus. Duveru. Anyway, that was a crazy quote there, Brian.
That was. So lies need to be exposed by truths.
Yes.
And, well, this year we have Hillary Clinton running for president for the Democrats.
Yeah. And I think the only truth, and pardon me, Brian, and I guess that can explain why we spent the first 15 minutes of the show not even once talking about politics, is because...
Or were we?
The truth is, Brian, it's a joke. It's a complete and total joke.
It is.
So, pardon me, but I'm going to take this episode as somewhat of a joke, because it's our first election show.
Before we start joking,
Okay.
I just want to say, to me, the biggest lie is the left-right paradigm.
The Republicans and the Republicans.
Red versus blue, the Pepsi versus Coke. That is the biggest lie. You have the right hand controlling this candidate, the left hand controlling this candidate, and the same fucking body. Bleep! Same effing body.
Yeah. You're
is both
correct.
hands.
Yep. You're 100% correct. And and it's really fascinating.
That's why I'm kind of interested to see what happens with Trump.
Well, you know what's fascinating, Brian, is when you really look at our voting numbers and the percentage of our population, more people in this country watch football every Sunday than vote for president of this country.
I do both.
Okay, I'm not saying you don't. I'm just saying more people, percentage-wise, the more percentage of our population.
However, I will admit that in some more recent elections, I just wasn't going to give either of the two main ones the time of my day, and I would do write-in votes for other people.
My personal view is do not participate in a broken system or even a obviously corrupt system, because participating in it allows it to continue to go on and validates it, gives it validity, validates it, or gives it validity as far as being a...
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, 3NM Podcast, where we invent new words.
I invent new words all the time.
Constantly. Validate.
That gives it some sort of credence as far as being necessary and still being needed. And if we all chose not to participate, it would be, okay, well, obviously that's not working anymore, and we have to give up on that, and we have to find a way to put that to rest for once and for all. And what is going to be the new thing that we create that everybody's going to want to participate in? Because obviously everybody stopped participating in the last thing, and that's completely opposite of the way that it was supposed to work and its intention. Or will the establishment try and find a way that even if nobody's participating, 1% of the population is participating because that's all that really even cares about it anymore, or all that it even thinks it's serious anymore, doesn't take it as a joke anymore, right? Just that 1%. Will the establishment want that? Because then the establishment makes it so much easier to try and sway those people, because those are the people, that 1% that are still voting, are I'm a Republican for life, or I'm a Democrat for life, and that's the only answer, you know what I'm saying? Like, those people. But you find a lot of those people are even like getting turned off from the entire system. Aren't interested in Hillary because Hillary is just like cold and not like...
Here's where... To people out there who still actually believe in the system, if we have any listeners that do still believe in our political system... I think
you'd be surprised that there's a lot of people that even knowing that the system is a sham and corrupt...
If you have any doubt whatsoever, Hillary Clinton is being formally investigated by the FBI on charges of treason and releasing private documents when she was Secretary of State through that stupid email server. How is she even allowed to be running for president at this point?
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, Brian, I don't know how that's even possible.
It's not like the local police are accusing her. She's being formally investigated by the FBI.
Yeah. So there's two possibilities here, Brian. When it comes down to it, there's two possibilities. They hold all that off until after she's president, and then they're able to basically wipe it all under the rug, you know? Somehow.
Or she gets impeached because the people will be pissed.
Could get impeached, but then again, the system's corrupt, and she's part of the establishment, and the majority of the governmental system is under the influence of the establishment and wants to save the establishment. God save the queen, God save the establishment.
They want to continue their reign, basically.
Exactly.
That's why they don't
want to lose their jobs.
That's why they didn't like Donald Trump.
Paycheck.
That's why they didn't like Donald Trump when he first came out, and they tried to paint him as this huge racist bigot, and that's all they would show you on TV. They wouldn't show you anything else he said at his rallies. All they show you is one little comment from a friggin' 45-minute speech.
Here's two things that can happen here, Brian. Two things, all right? Either Hillary, because the establishment wants to protect Hillary because she is the establishment.
They're going to push her. They're going to do something.
They'll find a way to wipe it all under the rug.
Well, you remember, here's one for you. Here's a theory. Remember all the talk over the years, Obama's going to stay for a third term, or Obama's going to stay in office permanently? Here's a thought, and if any of you are interested in that, watch this week's Brainstorming, which we're bringing back. But people up in Canada, when Obama was up there giving a speech like a week and a half ago, were chanting 4 more years,
years. Dude, that's not a, what do you call it? That's not a Canadian thing. That's not a, what do you call it? That's not just a offshoot or a small percentage like, oh, well, maybe we should elect him for a third term. Maybe no. There is a mass portion, or a large portion, maybe 10% of the United States public and of the North American public, I guess you could say, Mexicans and Canadians, right, are calling for Obama to have a third term. These people are uneducated about our political system, uneducated about constitutional law. They're uneducated about those things. They just think Obama's great. Obama's ushered in equal rights for gay and lesbians and transgender people, and he's done nothing but push for push for a reduction of gun violence, even though he hasn't really done anything about reducing gun violence. He's pushing for a reduction of gun violence. He's opened up relations with Cuba. They think about all these grand things that Obama has done, and they're like, we need 4 more years of Obama. He's setting things right. They don't look at the budget. They don't look at the
drone strikes.
They don't look at drone strikes. They don't look at the military industrial complex and our intervention overseas. They don't look at any of that.
Program.
They're looking at what most people champion. Not most people. Most people who champion Obama. They're looking at what those people champion as Obama's accomplishments, and they're like, we need 4 more years of that. Let's see what else he can do. Let's see what other awesome things he can do for us. He talks about this TPP thing that'll bring more jobs. Sure, why not? They don't even know what TPP stands for. They just have heard him say,
paper.
Yeah, exactly.
That's literally what it is.
I've seen that video. Toilet paper products. Like, what is the TPP? I don't know. Toilet paper products. It's like, you've got to be kidding me. That's really what it is.
Trans-Pacific Partnership.
There's a lot of uneducated people who are calling for a 3rd term, and the sad part is...
Then you have the TTIP.
Those people could start a movement coming up towards November, could start a movement, especially depending on what happens with Hillary. They could start a movement. I'm really under the impression, or personally under the belief, that like the middle of October, a couple weeks before Election Day, okay, all of this is going to come down, and it's going to be like, holy shit, Hillary's not able to run anymore. Hillary might be the Democratic candidate that was chosen, but she's not able to run anymore.
Then you know what's going to happen then?
Trump. No. I'm talking about the Democrats. All those Democrats that are like, Our Lady's going to win, Our Lady's going to win. And all of a sudden, mid-October, they're like, uh-oh, Our Lady no longer has a shot. Like, she's not allowed to win, or she's not going to be allowed to even, like, be on the ballot. Like, uh-oh.
Because literally, if it comes out at that point, people will be storming down the White House gates if they let her. A
small percentage of Democrats saying, Bernie Sanders, we really need to go with Bernie Sanders. But you know what 90% of the Democrats are going to say?
What?
Well, then, unfortunately, because of the circumstances, because we definitely can't have Trump as our president, we need to change the law and let Obama be on the ballot. We need to put Obama on the ballot. That's going to be that simple. It's not going to be, 3rd term, we need to change it and make it so he can have a 3rd term.
God.
No, let's just put Obama
Ladies and gentlemen, Nick just put what Nick just said just put a thought in my head I hadn't even considered. Make sure you tune into this week's brainstorming, where we will talk about the possibility of Obama staying in office and martial law in America.
Or how about this, Brian? #WriteInObama. Imagine that being just with all Democrats. They're all talking about it. Yo, #WriteInObama. I did it. Did you write in Obama? I wrote in Obama. Yeah, it doesn't matter if the law says he can't. We'll change the law. If we elect him, we'll change the law because we, the people, spoke. And what if all of a sudden you get some delegates that all of a sudden are like, you know what? Because the people's vote doesn't really count. It really comes down to the delegates. So it's like,
you know what?
It's like, I'm writing in Obama too. And they start going on and the delegates vote them in.
No, I really hope it doesn't come to
what happens
#write in anybody. No, I don't want to see #write in anybody.
Write in Vermin Supreme, bitch, or Ron Paul.
You're going to know because I know. Don't start this movement. Don't even inspire people by saying it.
#stay at home.
Here's what you're going to get in another 4 years. You're going to get #write in Beyonce. You're going to get #write in Miley Cyrus.
Well, Kanye's running next year or the next election, right?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he's already made that clear, and I guarantee you he will.
Me?
Especially with Trump running and Trump having that success that he did, and Kanye being just as much of a blowhard who can't control what he says. He's running, dude. He's on it. And you know what? He's going to have every single person that watches Keeping Up with the Kardashians, as long as he stays with Kim Kardashian.
You know what? If Kanye wants to run,
vote for him.
If Kanye wants to run, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write a letter to a man.
Voting record.
I'm going to write a letter to a man up there in Detroit Rock City by the name of Mr. Ted Nugent, and I'm going to tell him I would like to see him run for president in the next election.
Yeah. I think
against Kanye West.
I think Kanye West will win our presidential election, will become our president, will fuck up so bad in the first year as far as doing what he thinks just needs to be done. Duh. We should all know this. I'm Jesus. So Jesus, y'all need to listen to Jesus. I know what I'm talking about, and it'll just screw stuff up so bad.
And Idiocracy would start coming true.
We will all at the next following election, he will screw everything up in his first couple years so bad that he may even get impeached. But
dude, he's going to get
following
a
election, everybody will stay home because we'll all be like, we're not voting another reality TV star into or another rapper into the office. We need to give up on this. Like, that's the only answer right now because once we participate, we end up voting for somebody like Kanye. Like, well, I guess that's the best we can do right now. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, no, the best we can do is stay home.
President Camacho.
You know? But what's going to happen this one is it's going to be hashtag write in Obama. Hashtag write in. Do you want Trump?
Hashtag write in Hulk Hogan.
Or hashtag Obama over Trump. Hashtag Obama over Trump. Or Trump v. Obama. Who is better? You know what I'm saying? And it's like when you've really compared the two, unfortunately, Obama has a mass more political experience than Trump will ever have unless he becomes president. But it's like so obviously evident that even some Republicans will be like, you know what? Trump's been like he hit the last couple months of his campaign were really falling off, and you know what? I don't like Obama. I hate Obama, but at least it's not Hillary. You know, I definitely didn't want the liar criminal Hillary in there. You know what I'm saying? Some even uneducated people.
Yeah, the people that don't know about drone strikes.
Exactly. Well, not even don't know about drone strikes. They're justifying that Trump may actually do more drone strikes. Trump might actually be more detrimental to the country because that's what's been over the past month. That's what started to be drilled in. Even though other people were saying it before, now all of a sudden the media is like, "Oh yeah, he's not viable. That's right. Oh, yeah, he's not." So even these Republicans that were supporting him, if they really think they're intellectual, and I watch Fox every day, and Fox is telling them, well, you know what, we did like Trump, but it's like it's not going to happen. It's not possible. Well, they're like, I guess I need to write in Obama. I guess I need to because what else am I going to do? You know, that's the only option at this point. It's either Trump, who really it's not going to work, or write in Obama, you know, like, I guess write in Obama and see what the first third-term president can do, you know, like, see if he can maybe do something positive in his third term. I don't know. Yeah. Or maybe next time we'll get our guy in there next time because Trump's not the guy, so.
You know what that's going to start? A whole new movement.
Republicans won't vote.
No, you're going to get uneducated or undereducated inner-city kids that are going to be sitting there like, yo, man, we got
just inner city.
We got the first black president. Now he's going to be the first third-term president. Yo, we need to make Obama a king of America.
You know, one thing I could see happening. This is a real stretch, Brian. A real stretch, but bear with me, okay? A lot of other countries have two presidents, okay? They have a prime minister and a president or a chancellor.
Yes.
Okay? And the president or the chancellor is the face of the country, and the prime minister does the work. Does all the background work and sets policy and things like this. I honestly could see people calling for that type of a system where after Obama's third term, we love him so much.
President and vice president, dude.
Yes, but we changed the whole structure because we're so tired of the way it's set up. It's obviously not working, right? After Obama's third term, we love him so much and want to keep him around, like kind of how the Phillies wanted to keep Charlie Manuel around after they won the World Series but got rid of him as manager.
Hashtag Andy Reid, anybody?
Well, no, they didn't want to. Nobody wanted to keep Andy Reid around. But
the fans didn't.
Well, the fans did.
Organization
but I'm talking
about 3 years longer than they should have.
But what I'm talking about is after you fire a guy, keeping him on board, like how the Lakers kept Phil Jackson on board after they got rid of him as coach. They kept him on as like an advisor. Okay, getting rid of a guy, but keeping him there as almost a face of your franchise still, and you still have the coach to run stuff and your real coach to run stuff, but he's there as this face and like he's an advisor, but hey, he's still with the team. Well, hey, Obama's still with the team. Let's make him the face of the country because internationally people love Obama, even though it's not really the truth. Everybody seems to have this idea, and it's like, let's put Obama as the figurehead and the face of the country, so he'll still be President Obama, and then we'll elect a separate president who won't really be. He'll be the president of operations or the president of some fancy word, you know what I'm saying?
Just like any other
the
corporation.
President of administration or the executive.
You just described an administration of
the executive
a corporation.
President. That's what it is.
You
have the president of the United States, which is your figurehead, and then you have the executive president who basically presides over the executive branch.
He's basically the vice president.
Yes, but you would still have a vice president who still kind of splits the job and splits the roles with the executive president. So you would have the executive vice president as well. That title would no longer be the vice president. There's no vice president of the United States anymore. If the president of the United States gets killed, we elect a new figurehead, a new face, but we still have the president that runs things. The executive president still stays there.
Oh,
he
wouldn't get promoted?
Because shit, if we're electing somebody for a third term, then we might as well just start whiting out what we don't like. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying this is what I want. This is the general public's mindset of, oh, well, it's a sham anyway. It's a joke. Well, let's just change it up anyway. You know, screw it. Let's just change it and make it more of like an international system. And hey, Canada, you want to join us? Hey, Mexico, you guys want to become like a 3-country, like how the European Union set up? It's so easy to fool people. Into such obviously bad ideas and make them think they're good because people are idiots and they just want to watch football and keeping up with the Kardashians and the stupidest stuff and not pay attention to how shit really works. So the people can be fooled and they're like sheep being led by a sheepdog into a wolf's den.
You know what I just thought of when you said that?
What?
I guess it's kind of a shout out to the place we met down at the good old Cafe Madison in Riverside.
Hell yeah, Chef Jack, what's up?
Yo, you just brought back a memory of, I gotta be out as soon as I'm done. I'm leaving early. The new Orange is on tonight. Orange is the new black.
Oh my god, dude. It irks me, and it's sad. Yeah, I love my mom to death. I love my mom with all my heart. I'm like a mama's boy. But I go down there and I'll hang out with my mom, and literally, like, if I hang out for the day or something, there'll be a point in the day where we just sit down to watch TV, and she's like, oh my god, have you seen this new show? Oh my god, I love it. And it's always, for some reason, every single time, she brings up the Carbonaro Effect. Have you seen the Carbonaro Effect? Oh my god, this guy's so awesome. You would really love this show. And every single time, I'm like, well, you told me that last time. You made me watch some of it last time. And it's like I sit there to be able to sit with my mom and spend time with my mom. I'll sit and watch these shows, even though I don't really find them that interesting. Some of the shit's interesting, I'm not going to lie. I'm interested in a lot of different shit. But usually I'm like, why am I sitting here watching TV? Pardon my language. I should just have a button on here that says that's pardon my language. I wish I could say we have a bleep button, but the bleep button would always be late after the curse.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, it would. Maybe I should get that on here.
That'd be a good joke.
But I watch these TV shows, and I'm just like, what is this? Like, how do people sit here and, like, this is, like, what their life is about? I'm not saying my mom's life is about TV, but, like, there's so many people where they're just like, I gotta watch my show. I gotta see my show. I was actually one of those people, so I kind of know. You want to hear how stupid this is? You want to hear how stupid I am? Spice Girls. I was into Spice Girls when I was like 12.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Don't hate, all right? Don't hate, Brian. I was into Spice Girls when I was 12, all right? But the next thing was...
Which one was your favorite?
Oh, what do you call it? Jerry Halliwell, the one I always wear the British get-up?
The redhead, right?
Yeah. She was nice. Anyway...
And, that's our take on the presidential election this year is the Spice Girls.
No, it wasn't Spice... Well, yeah, Spice Girls was... I'm
waiting to see that. Hashtag Spice Girls. Vote in instead of one single candidate. Vote for, like, a group of people. Yo, man, I'm voting for Metallica for president.
Yeah, see, but that's like... We're getting to that point where next election cycle that could be possible.
Theoretically, let's go worst case scenario, or... Along those lines, something like that could happen down the road if what you said earlier.
Are we that close? Like, in as far as political systems go, the United States political system, are we that close to idiocracy? Are we that close to idiocracy where literally John Cena could go in there and be like, I'm John Cena, and I'm going to be your president? You know what I'm saying? And that's not even how John Cena talks, but going up there and, like, saying, I'm going to put on this act of being like, I'm the tough guy wrestler who's going to come in and save the day, you know what I'm saying?
Like, every day he comes on for one of his addresses, his entrance music plays from the WWE.
He does his face thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, Putin, you can't see me.
I'm trying. There's this freaking little gnat.
How do you get in here if the air conditioning's on?
The air conditioner...
And the windows are shut.
I don't have it fully sealed up to the window, so they get in every now and then.
Oops.
So I don't know. I once I started saying Spice Girls, I forgot the other thing I was going to say that was more recent that I was... All right. American Idol. When I was in 2004, 2005, I literally... Not like, oh, I had to get off work at a certain time because I had to be home. No, but I lived with my sister. I was sleeping on my sister's couch for like a good 6 months. And me and my sister and her boyfriend would sit there and watch American Idol religiously every night. It was on 5 nights a week. We would watch it every night, 5 nights a week, and sit there and smoke some weed together and have fun, basically watching American Idol and getting into it. And, like, we had people that we were rooting for and this and that. And, like, we would even be, like, some nights if we felt wild enough, we would call in and vote or text in a vote. You know what I'm saying? But I know what it's like to be caught up in that stuff, and, like, your life is about that. And it's like I look back on that in a shame of myself. Yeah. Like, I can't believe I let myself ever be like that, but it was a learning experience for me, and to live that and to know that there's so many other people that never pull themselves out of it, and they find a new show every season, or when that show ends and the finale of that show goes off, all right, they just tune to a next, they just keep tuning to channels till they find something else that they can get hooked onto and really, like, that's my new stuff. That's my new show. I love that show. Have you seen that show? And it's like so many people live their life like that, but they're not paying attention to how stuff really works. They're the people that are going to be like, well, I guess we'll vote in Kanye. What could be what's the worst that could happen? He's better than Trump, you know? It's like,
see, but now I'm still hung up on
Trump
the previous
has set a benchmark
thought.
For this.
I'm glad you brought
system.
that back around there, because I'm still hung up on the previous thought. I'm waiting to see
Spice Girls.
No, either 2020 or 2024, something along the lines of, all right, this election, I'm Triple H, and I'm going to beat John Cena in the presidential election, and I'm going to beat his... And John Cena, yo, I'm going to take down Triple H in this election. And then, you know, they have the election, and one of them gets elected president of the United States, and next thing you know, he gets sworn into office. The other one comes out and hits him with a chair or some bullshit, right? And then you have the main event. All right. Here it is. This is the revenge match, you know. Friggin' Triple H is pissed that John Cena won the presidential election, so they're going at it in a cage at WrestleMania.
No, at Election Mania.
We're calling this WrestleMania the Election Mania cage match.
Oh, God.
Dude, I could see. I think we're at that point.
Brian.
I think this country is that dumb.
Your brain is going to explode. Your brain is going to explode in about 3 seconds. All right? 2024, right? That's an election year, right? 2024, Eric Bischoff runs and wins. Oh, no. Vice President Hogan.
I'll do you one worse. How about Ted Turner with Vice President Bischoff?
No, but hold on, no. Not Ted Turner with Vice President. Eric Bischoff and Hollywood Hulk Hogan, who comes back as Hollywood Hulk Hogan, because he's got to be more of a character and more serious and more down to shit, and he wants terrorism to know that he's going to leg drop those motherfuckers.
Shit, at that point,
but it's true.
Wait, the president gets to appoint his own cabinet, right? So at that point,
the whole NWO, you got billionaire
exactly.
Ted.
No, you're going to bring in Scott Hall and Kevin Nash as like the Secretary of Defense and the Secretary of State.
Yep, Six-Pac.
Yeah, here you go, the Secretary of State, Scott Hall. Yo, Chico, look, you can either give us your oil or we're going to drone strike you, because we're taking over.
What if the NWO from wrestling, it got to be such a joke, but that the NWO from wrestling, and it would start off with just Eric Bischoff running, like, oh, wow, he was this guy that was in wrestling, involved with wrestling, and he ran WCW wrestling, basically, and he did a pretty good job. Why not give him, he's more qualified than Trump in the long run, or in the scope of things, he's more qualified than Trump. And then all of a sudden, 6 months in, he's leading the polls, and he's like, I'm bringing on, and there's speculation about, I'm bringing on Hulk Hogan, it's my vice president, and all of a sudden they win, and it's like, my cabinet, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Six-Pac, you know, all these things, and it's like, oh my God, the NWO is now running the United States, and so many conspiracies are going to pop up just from that, and it's going to be like, oh my God, it's the end of the world, the NWO is now running the game.
Bret the Hitman Hart.
They're finally coming out. Oh my God. All right, Brian, we got 2 minutes left.
That's what I'm waiting to see. I'm waiting to see when it gets to the point where we're like electing a Canadian as the vice president, as the president. You know, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't think that's a possibility. I think we'll implode the system before we let that happen. honestly. Before we start electing foreigners as our, and I'm not calling Canadians like, even though they are technically foreigners, before we start electing people that aren't even citizens of this country, before we start electing them as our president and leaders of our country, I think we'll just implode the whole system and start over. And I really, honestly, I can see a reality show type system forming. So maybe we'll implode the system before 2024, and we'll have like a 2-year term or whatever, and a reality show type format where people call in and vote in and this and that, and it's almost like a pageant type thing, you know what I'm saying, or American Idol or something.
Pay
Something
$1
went wrong.
to cast
Try
your
again
vote.
a little bit. Yeah. Oh, wouldn't that be crazy if they charge you? Anyway, Brian, we got 1 minute to go. Anything that you want to say?
YouTube.com/where we lied to, Facebook.com/3NN podcast.
You know what I got to say?
What?
3nmpodcast.com. Check it out.
Yeah.
Hells yeah is right. You find me at Real Nick Tesla on Instagram. The Real Nick Tesla, Facebook.com/The Real Nick Tesla. Also, check out this cool website I just came across called thebestyoutubechannel.com. I think you might find it pretty interesting. Anyway.
I will check that out as soon as I get home, sir.
You ever notice where like hockey players at the end of the game, like hockey player being interviewed after a game,
right? Yeah.
Or at the end of the show, we're always like,
or Sam Bradford.
Yeah, well, he checked me into the boards, but I feel I got him pretty good with that hit at the end of the game. I think I did pretty well, and plus I got that open netter. So, peace.
Let me know when this gets irritating, okay?
It's irritating almost at once.